I'm well aware that that intro sequence is far too long, and I've just become aware that I've left a Frisbee on the Tascam. I better take that off, but later. That can be this episode's gimmick. Pumped Up Kicks, speaking of gimmicks. So I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be shitting on this. This was a huge hit in the 20-teens, late 20-teens. Late 20-teens? Man, I really need to look at when these things came out. This was a massive song, and it had a pretty strong message too. At the time, there were a lot of school shootings going on, let's just say it. I mean, it's got to be said. And this song was about that. It was about bullying and about how these things can amass into these horrible situations. And I didn't like the song when it came out. I didn't really care what it had to say. Just didn't like the song. Didn't really bother me that if it was activism or if it was activation or whatever. It just wasn't for me. All the kids that I was teaching guitar to at the time wanted to learn how to play it, and it was just annoying. But at the same time, I respect the fact that it is a really huge song, and sometimes you got to do things you don't necessarily think you like, because what's the point of just living in your own little fluffy land of comfort all the time? Push yourself a little bit, do some things that you're not really 100% on all the time, and you could find yourself learning something or having a good time. And that's why we're looking at Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. Why? Because I didn't like it. That's why we're looking at it, and we've got to look at it because it's massive. It's a massive hit. It's a part of history, and this is the session. What a strange looking session. We've got Battery is a plugin that is for drums. So that we can see there that they've used Battery. They've got some kick, hi-hat. I have rearranged these a little bit because it just looked even uglier when I dropped it all in. So we got kick, hi-hat, snare, claps. The claps are probably real. Battery, low tom, high tom, mid tom, mid tom. 3 types of mid toms. Some shaker. Boutique Retro Clean Verb, that's probably a guitar track. Blur Pad, that's probably a synth. Boutique Brit Clean Verb, which is probably a guitar track, which I'll move them together. Mexican Guitaron, that's French, why did I say it like that? It's a big guitar, and it sounds really cool. I'm interested to see what it sounds like here. Vocoder Lyric. I like Vocoder. This has got some synth in it too. There's a couple of effects. Battery Crash. Let's move that up. We're going to put that up there. We'll put it at the bottom. Those toms and the shaker. Yeah, we'll put it at the last thing. Whistles. Vocal Chop. Atmospheric. Yeah, we talked about those. Chorus vocals. Bridge Run. And Phone Filter, which I believe is the main vocal. Now, this has all the makings of something that I inherently would normally like. It's got synth in it. It's got some cool old amps. It's got, some wacky instruments. It's got some cool percussion. And it's got vocal effects and vocoder. Why don't I like it? I don't know. But let's just have a listen through it from the start. Individually, we'll have a check of this kick drum track here. Don't know who produced it. Don't even know any of the guys' names in the band. But here we go. Kick from Battery. Interesting. Snare. That totally sounds like a plug-in hi-hat that. Interesting. Add that low tommy because it'll come in a sec. It'll be like boom, boom, boom. Really? Okay. I'm just going to go back here because there's a few toms there that I want to check out that only happen as a one shot. Are these stems? Are these stereo? They are. Interesting. So these are stems, but why would they individually? I mean, I think someone has just rendered these out stereo because those toms individually could have been bussed into one channel. I don't understand why they would have done that. Listen to me act like I don't know what to talk about. There's some more toms here, which we should check out. Okay, and then obviously we're going down that roll. Oh, there's a lot of crispiness in there too. Like, there's a lot of artifacting, a lot of weird stuff happening in the background of these samples. Can you hear the crustiness? Anybody? Can you check out, like, let's just... Sorry, I'll unmute that. This crispiness right at the end here. this. So you're hearing the tail, but hear that crispiness in the left channel? That's really strange, and it also happens in this other channel here, this other track, this tom. I'm interested as to why that may be. I always like hearing slight imperfections in huge, Grammy nominated or winning. I don't know, did this win anything? I'm sure it did. Tracks. So let's hear the other couple of toms. Okay. All right. Interesting. Close that back up. Let's have a look at the rest of those drums. So along here we get a little bit of the claps to pop in, so might as well add the rest of those elements. Oh, hang on, we're still stuck on that little loop. That's interesting. Let's hear that on its own. Yeah. Have a look at these individual shots. See that? The transient, the claps, and then the gated reverb. Like, well, it's not technically gated, is it? It's just got a really low attack on it. And wow, the clap is like so clean, and then you've got the rest of the. It goes. That's a huge like hall reverb. Sounds like a stairwell. Like they've mic'd it up from like the top floor of the building and they're clapping on the bottom floor. They've mic'd that mic too, so it's like here. And then there's another mic up the top catching the rest of the stink noise. Okay, let's hear that. Interesting. Back it up with some snare. Hats. There's some shaker in there too. I'm just going to get rid of the clap so we can focus a little. There's the shaker. What's that? We'll get to that. But like how it sounds like out of phase or something when it goes through those toms, like the douche, the doof. It sounds just like weird. You ready? It's just like this like it's golden eye and you open a door. One more time and then I'll put the claps in. Strange. And then there's I remember this time for music when it was all about reverb and space. Like everybody really wanted to have a spacious mix that sounded like they, did it in a hallway. Interested. Battery crash. Looks like there's only one track on this, one hit on this entire track, and it happens here. So let's hear that. Oh, bloody brilliant. Okay, we'll put some other drums in then, and we'll hear that crash in context with those instruments. We'll put the shaker back on. Why don't we? Shake it, baby. Okay. That was it. Wow. Okay. Isn't that strange? The things you don't notice. I'm sure it's probably mixed in the original version, but the things you don't notice, and then when you see them pop up, they it's really strange. Very interesting though. Okay, what's the blur pad? Now blur pad sounds like something synthy, so I reckon. I love that. Wow. Oh, that makes me want to get a massage. You know what I mean? Like sitting at the spa and just being like, everything is fine. Those 15 unpaid parking tickets will just go away. It's just relaxation music. You are powerful. Mercury is in retrograde. Just you know what I'm saying? That's what that sounds like to me. I dig that. That's cool. And then what's this boutique retro clean? This has got to be guitar. There you go. Sounds great. And then add that other guitar in. Oh, there we go. There's that horrible riff. That award-winning riff. Listen to the reverb. Good old spring tank. You can hear it there go. Yeah, wow. That's the riff. That's the famous riff that's about to shut us down for copyright. That's the one they all wanted to learn. That's the one every kid in the world, and this is the one thing you can say for this song, if nothing else, it made a bunch of people want to play guitar. It made a bunch of kids want to play guitar. I mean, it's not Zakk Wylde, and it made people want to play guitar. Isn't that really, really great? It's a fantastic thing. Let's check out this Mexican guitaron that they have dubbed here. Well, that's a synth. And it sounds interesting. When I say interesting, I mean poorly played in some spots. There's bung notes going on. First couple of seconds into your track and you already bummed a note is amazing. That people go, it's fine, and I think that's good too. It makes me feel like I don't have to be so hard on myself that everything has to be perfect, because this song was a banging hit. And listen, get ready for this note. Do you hear that? It's like not in time with anything, and it's just kind of like a little fumble. Know what I mean? Like it's in key and all that, but it just sounds real whack. And then this is cool. I think this bit's good. Except that diddle-diddle-do is good, and then there's a double hit. But again, these producers know who else is going to hear this in depth until some idiot finds the multitracks and shows you. Because when you put it all together, you don't hear that stuff. Let's hear that with the guitar riff here. That's not going to hurt anybody. That's not hurting anybody. There you go. That's fine. That's totally fine. Don't be so hard on yourselves, everybody. You just need to foster the people sometimes. Come on, geez, what am I doing? Okay, let's go to this part that is called vocoder blip. I just want to double check I haven't missed anything. Yeah, we're all cool. Vocoder blip. Now, I like vocoders and I like things that blip. Vocoder. Oh, it's bip. Vocoder lyric and then bip, whatever that means. It's on every file. Let's hear it. Yes, thank you. Give me more of that. Give me all of that you got. Let's see if we can time that and make a little dun 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 ba 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 ba. One more. There we go. Sorry, we're not remixing. I just love vocoder. That's a really cool little part. All right, let's just get back and have a look at what else we're missing. We're going to a little transition effects, and then we're going to go through the vocals. So this is probably that part about halfway through. So if you're in here, stick around. Let's just have a quick look at these little comments here. So if you're watching if you're watching live, you're watching it on Facebook. It will be back up on YouTube in a couple of days. What do we got? Can I play guitar? If I'm forced to. James Holland sub, not much. How you doing? Prefers the track Houdini. Dangers prefers Houdini. Bloody beauty. Yeah, Holly's watching. That's really cool. Liam's watching. That's great. Kyle French, thank you very much. Yeah, guys, these are going on YouTube now, so please do go over and just have a look at my channel. It's just called Luffigan. It's just my one I've had attached to my email for the last 16 years. Go and have a look. All episodes are up so far. I think this is number 21 or so, and I'm going to do about 25. And then I've got a few specialty ones. I'm going to do a Michael Jackson series, an Earth, Wind & Fire series, and I've got a few Kylie Minogue ones. So maybe I'll do them as a live individual single, like hour episode or something. But till then, I'm just having a good time. Let's get back over to the thingo. Which way is it on your screen? That way. And we'll check out the rest of this. We got some transition here. Zoom back into that. See what we can find. Back it up, mate. Absolutely. Okay. One day someone's going to be like, stop doing those voices. They're going to be like, that's not how we speak. And I'll apologise. But until then, I'll do what I fucking want, mate. See, this is great. All this shit sounds cool. I like this stuff. Why did I hate it so much when it came out? I hate it, but I was just like, oh, this one again. All right, what's this atmospheric effects? Hell yeah. I'll have that all day, man. That's so good. It's like being in a spaceship. I'm going to add it with that other one. Yes! Oh, that's sick as! But this is also what I want to know. That none of that stuff has any business being in a number one commercial radio hit. How come that stuff's going sick? And I've got 5 tracks up that no one's ever heard. Sound just like that. So they go for 15 minutes a pop. I suppose I didn't have a social issue to speak about. Not comparing myself to these guys whatsoever. What is whistles? Whistles. Okay. Whistles, all right, just happens up here. That's obviously going to be the melody whistled. Bring that down so we don't have to see a big cranked out view. Cranked out view, you better run, better run. Okay, let's hear the whistles. That's, yeah. Are they loud? Because that sounds loud to me. I'm going to bring this main down. I'm going to bring that down too. But there you go. That's the whistles. That's the famous whistles. Let's hear the next lot. Those are a longer bit. I love how it just kind of comes in with no warning. It just is and straight in. Takes you by surprise if it's not in context. This is a good opportunity if you're listening on headphones to I mean, it's going to be piercing, but crank it up because you can actually hear the headphones in the background. You can hear the vocals through the headphones, which we haven't even listened to yet. So crank your headphones up right now and just listen carefully. I'll put that volume back up for you just for this once, okay? Listen to the headphones in the background. Really hard to hear, but if you listen carefully, I mean, I've got it right on my cans right now, so I can definitely hear it. But yeah, I love that you can hear a bit of bleed in there. It's not enough to interfere with the track whatsoever, and again, it gets mixed into it, but it's there, and I appreciate that. Okay, what else are we checking out? Vocal chop. Let's hear that. Now, I still, to this second, have never heard this song in full. Like I'd swear on my life, and until this year or last year, I've never heard a Justin Bieber song in full in my life. So let's hear this vocal chop. No idea what's going on here. I suppose it's just start of the song, and then there's one that comes into the chorus. Okay. Now, I think before I move on, I really want to hear that with a few other things. All the drums. Let's hear that. Doesn't sound like pumped up kicks yet, does it? See, I like this too much snare clap. Hang on. Too much reverb on that. I can deal with this. Bring that down for me. See, I like that. I like that how that is. It's a bit too much reverb on the claps and all that kind of stuff, but that sounds cool to me. It doesn't sound like pumped up kicks yet. But yeah, that's weird. I like it though. And see, then we start adding in the elements of the main melody that are going to get, and that's, yeah. Okay, I think that's where it loses me personally. That's obviously, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that's obviously the part that I mustn't like. I don't know why I don't like it. It's just not for me, but it's catchy as hell. It's definitely catchy. Very, very cool. Okay. Now, this is going to be interesting. Actually, I might go to this bridge run first before I do the chorus vocals, because that's the main part of the song. We want to save that for the last. Okay, they've sampled someone's voice there. Downsampled it too. They've sampled somebody's voice there, and they're playing it on a keyboard, right? That's got to be it. That's got to be the creative way. Yeah, that's classic. The dog bark. Clip that and use that. that classic dog bark that the Fairlight sampled. That is somebody's voice sampled. And then they've added this metallic distortion to it, like this. They've lo-fied the absolute guts out of it. And there we have it. So I think before we do the chorus vocals, I'm going to give you the phone filter, which is obviously the verse. Let's hear what that sounds like. That's going to be interesting. I'll go back a little bit because there's a little bit of something there, but I remember this part.
Rob's got a quick hand.
Yeah.
He'll look around the room and won't tell you his plan. He's got a rolled cigarette.
Yeah.
Hanging out his mouth, he's a cowboy kid. Yeah, the phone, the six-shooter gun.
You can hear the overdub. What's it called? The punch in here. Get ready for it.
Cowboy kid, yeah, the phone, the six-shooter gun. Cowboy kid, yeah, the phone.
The yeah is the punch in, I reckon.
Hanging out his mouth, he's a cowboy kid. Yeah, the phone, the six-shooter gun. In his dad's closet, with a box of fun things I don't even know what. But he's coming for you, yeah, he's coming for you, hey.
So I don't even know how you can discern words out of that when the rest of the song's in, because that's quite affected. That's very distorted, and there's a shitload of modulation going on there, like a delay and reverb and just all kinds of stuff happening. Let's hear the next verse. See that you can hear right at the start here. Let's just go over this little section. This tiny little piece here, you can just hear the background just getting crushed by the compressor and just sucked out. That's like, my butters, that's the bit there that's just getting dragged up by the compressor, distorted, and you can hear it's coming from his headphones. Okay, let's get rid of that and we'll just actually listen to this for a moment.
Daddy works a long day. He's coming home late, and he's coming home late, and he's bringing me a surprise. His dinner's in the kitchen, and it's packed in nights I've waited for a long time. Yeah, the sleight of my hand is now a quick pull trigger, reads on my cigarette. And say your hair's on fire, you must have lost your wits, yeah.
So all I caught there was cigarette. And a bit of headphone action. But yeah, very interesting. That's a really important part of this song. I mean, it's interesting that they would distort it so much. I wonder what the idea was to convey the message the way they wanted to, that it needed to be, the voice needed to be that way. But hey, they did it, and it proved to work, man. It was the biggest song in the world at that point. At the time, it was, you could not turn around without hearing it. Huge. Let's hear the chorus vocals, guys. You want to hear that.
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, he's better run, and I'll run my gun.
Wow.
All the other kids with the pumped up
wow, that's cool. That's really, really, really. I mean, that's what I think chorus vocals should sound like. That reminds me of guys that I back in the day, like Neil Wilkinson, a friend of ours, who he writes this stuff. He's completely unreleased, but I've got some really, really good files I'd love to share with you with his permission, but I don't think I can. But the thick, rich chorus vocals there, I don't know if that's been affected by if that's played into a synth or something like that, or a vocoder, or if that's real backing vocals that have been sung and stacked and then printed down into this stereo file. But geez, I'm getting too excited. I'll go back to the start of that and let's listen to the rest of that.
All the other kids with the pumped up
Rich.
better run, and I'll run my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, faster than my bullet. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, and I'll run my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, faster than my bullet. Daddy works a long day.
That makes so much sense in... Wow, I was wrong this whole time. The song is good. That's what a contrast between those two sections. I'll add that chippity chop bit into that second half.
All the other kids with the kids better run, and I'll run my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, faster than my bullet. Daddy works a long day.
Wow, the difference is jarring. Alone, that vocal does not sound like something I'd ever want near my head. But when you hear it in context with these lovely, thick and rich, well-produced chorus vocals, lots of reverb. Wow, man, that's kind of like toast with cream on it. Like, you know what I mean? Cream. You know what I'm talking about. It's like toast with, like, butter and cheese or... I don't know. What do you like? It's just... That sounds great. That sounds really cool separately. Sorry, you know what I mean? Isolated together, but not isolated individually. I don't like the main vocals on their own. But when you put that contrast in there, the context is really making it happen. Wow. Okay. All we need to do, guys, is we just need to write one hit each. Set for life. Let's put this together, and I mean, like, we are at that point, like I say, where we could get in a little bit of strife, but we're going to go through and just have a quick listen to this. We'll put it together piece by piece, layer by layer, and we'll have a listen to Pumped Up Kicks together. If I hit the right button, thank you. I'm going to put all those drums together first. We can hear that together. We want to hear those. Yeah, baby. Actually, I just want to go back real quick because that crispiness that I was talking about in the times before, don't hate it anymore. Yeah, I can see why that would be in there. Interesting. Okay. Give me some of that pad. Where's the pad? I want some of that. Oh, we got that annoying riff. Yeah. That's synth. Yeah, that pad, baby. Oh, we missed the alien noises. We're going back. Sorry, guys. We're going back as alien noises are coming in. Give them to me. Yes. I'm not giving you the main riff because I want to hear what I want to hear. You want to hear it? You get your own. Yeah. Alien noises, baby. Okay, I'll give it to you. Oh, wait. Still sounds good. I'm going to do a remix of this. Cool. Oh, we didn't give him the vocals. Off. Alright. Strange how the drums sound surprisingly dry now compared to a lot of the other stuff. That tom just gets me every time. I don't understand. It doesn't even sound like a tom. Just for context, individually. It's got all the things that a tom normally has, except for all the things that make a Tom good. It's all there. It's just this is the creative process, ladies and gentlemen. It works though. Like I said, it was huge. It was a massive hit. I don't need to tell you guys that. You all bought it.
I don't even know why, but it's coming for you. Yeah, it's coming for you.
See, why didn't they put heaps more of that in there? Like this bit. They missed a whole trick here because all those main vocals could have been vocoder, and everybody would have been like, "Yeah." It would have been like Daft Punk wouldn't have had to split up because they would have already saved the world. Yes. All right, let's hear that chorus, a proper chorus. It's got everything you like. Listen to that synth on its own. Oh, yeah. That's sick. Let's hear it. Let's hear the chorus just with... I want to hear it just with some of that synth and just the chorus. And let's just see. Hang on. Yeah.
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, and I'll run my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, faster than my bullet. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, and I'll run my gun.
That's ethereal.
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, faster than my bullet.
That's cool. I really like that. That would be a great version. Let's listen to the second half of this track because I've never ever heard this. What have I muted here? Some guitar. Yeah, I'm going to keep that muted. Or maybe I'll take it off. That's annoying. I'm going to turn that down. That's that sampled. That run is the sample, the EPS sample with the bit crusher on it. It's annoying as hell. Yeah, break it down, baby. What? That's not how it goes. Imagine Fred Durst's version of it. Oh, you kids out there with your fancy shoes. Yeah! All right, we get that. We're getting copyright struck very soon, I'm sure. Now, look, I normally do this little thing where I go through and auto-tune things, but there's nothing to auto-tune here. I can't. It's a stem of a bunch of vocal tracks, and then it's the most bit-crushed, distorted, radio-filtered, phone filter, apparently, vocal track that I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, did I like this song when it came out? No. Do I appreciate it? A lot more now. Wow, what a song. Who knew you could use battery on Pro Tools? I think, was it battery on Pro Tools? I don't know. I think I had a version of it at some stage. Who knew you could use a bunch of sounds like that and crush the shit out of your vocals and have a number one hit? Topically written, I mean, wordsmiths. What a poignant topic that really needed to be kind of discussed, and they really did their job to kind of raise those things and talk about them, and great work to Foster the People for doing that. Apparently they've had more songs than this. I'm pretty ignorant to what happens in the world. What's that? Three Teeth version of this song was way better. Okay, so there are versions of this. Really, really cool. Thanks, Luke. Jeremy likes the harmonies. Yeah, man, so do I. Really, really special. The Blue Banana it's an Antarctican ice chili, Cody, just so you know. And wow, Foster the People, Pumped Up Kicks, interesting song. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to make my playlist, but I really appreciate that a whole lot now. To know how they've made that. Really, really cool. Thank you all. And remember, these are on YouTube now, so go and subscribe to that for me. I'm not making anything out of that. Actually, all of them have been copyright struck in the sense that any ads that are run on that, the record label takes the cash. So watch them and make sure that those original artists get the money, because I'm quite happy to contribute to this in any way whatsoever. So really, 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 really cool that they're allowing this through the Fair Use and Protection Act. I appreciate it. I like it, and I like doing them. And I've got heaps more. I'm talking, I've got maybe 4 more out of this set, and then I'm just going to do a few isolated sets, and then I'll be back for some more. Maybe with a new look. Let's see. I think our intro is a little too long. Either way, that's stuff you don't need to worry about. I'll fix that, and I'll talk to you later on. Yeah, enjoy yourself, and GFY.